Good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official coverage of Rainlight Racing's MATCHFIT Entertainment LMU series. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, that is right. Rainlight Racing 2026 LMU once again. It is season 12. I think we had a week's break last week, so because all the boys were at Bathurst. But here we are, tonight, Monday night, once again, round 3 at Fuji, probably one of the greatest tracks on the planet. I'm Davo, as always, J-Man right by my side. How are you doing, my friend?
Evening, Davo. Good evening, viewers. Welcome aboard to another Monday night. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Davo. Fuji is a fantastic piece of racetrack. 16 turns. I think it's somewhere around 5.6 odd Ks, something like that.
Yep.
A couple of really cool sections to look out for tonight. Obviously, big underbrakes to turn 1. It has got a fantastic front straight for the guys to use every bit of aero or draft or whatever they might have, and we'll see who's got the big engine under the bonnet tonight or in the boot, whatever they might be driving.
We will.
And then the other exciting part, I think, is 100R, so turn 4, 5, the big, like you mentioned to me off camera earlier, a double apex right-hander, really. Yep. They've got to try and find somewhere in the middle of that corner to reset the car, the yaw of the car, the throttle position, and get the car tucked back in as far to the right as possible as they head down towards turn 6, the hairpin, and then it doesn't get any easier after that. They come through very fast. Turn 8, turn 9, 300R, and then the technical part of the racetrack begins at turn 10, Dunlop, and they go through that really cool change of direction there, and they climb up the hill, drop back down, the camber drops away out of 14, 15, and then they round, and they got to try and get the best possible exit out of turn 16 for that big run down the front straight.
Absolutely, and that just that last sector, Joe, man, like you said, that camber drops away a lot. Like the first couple of sectors at Fuji here, nice cambered, very wide track, Joe, man. But you get into that sort of tricky little last sector there, and it is just crazy stuff. The camber drops off halfway through some of the corners, and the boys really struggle right up to 16, like you said. And such a long straight, so 16 is critical, isn't it, to getting, like these things, hooked up and down that massive long straight. I think we can, the boys are still out. I think they're in driver brief at the moment, so we'll just quickly get up the calendar here, and you can see there it is round 3 Fuji. Bit of a break last week for obviously the Bathurst 12-hour with a big chunk of these drivers actually heading over to Oz or heading up from somewhere in Oz to watch that Interlagos next week. Points are up, but we are just going to get a little bit of vision here as the boys roll out for qualifying, so we will just get onto this straight away. Here, 10 minutes around Fuji. These guys will want to get on it pretty quickly, J-Man. Sort of kind of a long lap, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and you can see the urgency from the drivers there. Harry Lawrence, no surprises there that he's got that Merc out there first. Look, if practice is anything to go by, they were all chasing a very fast Ferrari at the hands of Pete Dawson.
Oh, in pre-race practice. Yes, we did watch, didn't we?
Yeah, so round 23 degrees, track 10, 24, 23 ambient, 24 track, something like that. Something within a degree of that, I would say, David. Yep. No chance of rain here today at Fuji, or snow. By that matter, if you look in the distance, there is plenty of snow on the mountain in the distance. But, hey, look, they will all, literally, we see the train coming out. They're all going to try and get as many as they possibly can in this 10-minute session, and it's going to be critical. You and I both just discussing off camera whether we thought maybe track conditions change a little bit towards the back end of that 45-minute session, because based on the sectors, unless the boys sort of just tuned it up and a bit of a reverse strategy and maybe ran some fuel runs at the back end, it looked like the sectors were actually getting a little slower. Certainly sector 1 and sector 3 was maybe an observation from our perspective, but hey, that would not surprise me if they were just getting themselves into race trim, done all their quali runs, and into it. Myself personally, Davo, I would have been, I guess, doing my fuel runs early and my quali runs later, so that I knew what I was going to have in the short session, 10 minutes. Like we said, it is around a 2:36 to 2:38 lap. Am I right? No, 1:36 to 1:38.
Yes.
Apologies.
Yes.
Lap. So, you know, this is critical, and obviously, if anyone's going to keep the hammer down and bank the most amount of laps, it's clearly going to be those front runners, the likes of Harry Lawrence. I think next in line is Isaac Ichikawa, followed by Nathan Bewley. So usual suspects going out there very early,
yes,
trying to get this done, Davo.
Absolutely, and like you mentioned, sort of a little over mid one, whatever it is, 1 minute. What did you say? 37 or something.
36, 37. Yeah, I mean, if you're in the 36s, yeah.
So what are we looking at? You know, they've maybe got what, 6 laps, you know, to really get on it. Once the tyre temps are up. So. Yeah, the guys will want to make it work. Good field out there tonight, J-Man. 18 cars on track here at Fuji. A very wide track, but like you mentioned, usual suspects, mate. The likes of Lawrence Ichikawa. Of course, Matty Clark. I mean, these guys have been going at it for the last couple of weeks already. So used to watching these guys up the pointy end, but there's always the likes of Bewley, of course,
Macrolos,
Gunther Rowe, Steve Crossler. Exactly right. So the top 10's looking pretty stacked, J-Man.
Yeah, look, and viewers, for those of you already tuned in, we might run a little poll predictor when we remember at least. And look, I'm going to fire the first one out there, and I'm going to say for me, I think pole position here for the race tonight is a 136.715.
We back to this.
That's where I'm about. 136.715.
Okay, 130. You heard it from the J-Man's mouth. 136.7. Let's see how we go with that. And who's going to hit it? I'm predicting Pete Dawson.
Yeah, look, I think, you know, watch for Harry Lawrence. You know, he can fire a good one in there. Obviously, Pete Dawson's the man of the minute, you know, based on practice. Matty, Texas Brisket, Clark, he will have something to say about that, but don't ever count out Joseph Marnie, a little bit late. To that
absolutely.
And we'll know how he can operate in these high pressure situations under qualifying.
Okay, I'm going to go back to my fence sitter role, you know, because it could be any one of those guys. But nonetheless, good luck to PD, who actually topped the boards, I think, in pre-race practice. So, J-Man, Lawrence, definitely one of the steerers there we need to be looking at, but Crossan was particularly quick in pre-race, as was Gunther Rowe as well. We both noted, and those boys, particularly Gunther, actually coming off a pretty good last round. So, interesting stuff. This is Fuji, ladies and gentlemen. It's round 3 in the Rain Light Racing 2026 LMU season. This is season 12, J-Man. Wow. These guys are smashing it
out, these boys.
Yeah, so good stuff. Obviously supported by the good people at SimBlacks, and obviously MatchFit on board, which brings a whole bunch of business with them as well. The likes of GAMAFLARE and Sky 83, Face TV in NZ. And we got plenty going on, J-Man. I think we're back to 4 streams a week. As of this week, yes. So the grind starts again. The New Year's is over, and it's all cranking back up again. We're loving it here in the com spot. Macrolos has got the pink Lambo up at the top spot at the moment, J-Man.
Yeah, Magenta Sector 1 though for Matty Clark. He's in there on a 37.6 at the moment. Obviously, Macrolos at the top at the moment on a 7.4. Big shout out to as well. I'm not sure, but certainly Maxime Mollier, welcome to the grid, currently P15. And also we do
someone
have...
else, wasn't there, in there?
Yeah, there was Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, yes.
Yep. So not sure whether Rodrigo has actually made the grid before, but welcome aboard to those guys there.
Absolutely.
All your usual suspects out there. Now the total is starting to move. 136.89 for Gunther Rowe.
Isaac is just in front of him, and Rowe pipping the Lambo, actually. So nice work from Gunther. Good side effort. Bewley wasn't far behind in the Lexi.
Well, Matty Clark has eclipsed my
wow.
predictive time. He has gone 10 below that.
Look out, ladies and gentlemen. By a tenth of a second, mind you.
Yeah. So hot it is out there with the times. Only 2.5 odd minutes remaining in this one, and I can still see some of the deltas lighting up. Costas Macrolos, he's gone personal best sector 1. Firthy had just came off a good lap P5 there with a 37.4.
And so just quietly, J-Man, Mr. Rodrigo here is no slouch either, smashing it out in the LMU series here with the BMW. Very nice.
Yeah, Pete Dawson just gone personal best in sector 1, just tucked in behind Lee Perkins there, and I think he's bailed out of this lap, and he's just going to have to watch the clock here. He's got somebody just coming up and behind him in an Aston Martin. I think that might be Nick Firth. So he's just trying to buy himself a little bit of track position here as Pete Dawson, the fast guy out of practice session 1, and currently sitting P10. So I know for a fact he was deep into the 36s in practice. He will want better than a 7.8 right now that he's sitting on. So there's a lot that plays out on these sessions, Davo, and timing is critical. We could just see him really just rolling out, as is Nick Firth.
Both of them are actually rolled right out of it there, J-Man. Just trying to find a little bit of space on track here as the clock winds down, only a minute to go. So they're timing this particular lap. Nick in a good position, was in 6th, just snuck down to 7th there by, I don't know who that was
Crossland.
actually. It was Crossland.
36.9
there
for
you
Steve
go.
Crossland.
But yeah, probably more critical here for PD. Probably a little bit more pressure on PD there. In the privateer white car. Actually, it's not a privateer car.
No, it's got a lot of MATCHFIT on it.
It's got MATCHFIT stickers all over the back corners of that car, so nice work from PD.
He absolutely nailed the apex turn 1. Yeah, 100%. So it's a risky business though, because he has left this all down to this last lap as he tips it in there through turn 3. Coca-Cola. This is the corner, turn 4, the double apex in 400R, and it ends up being turn 5 by the time he hits this point here. Uses plenty of curb there, does Pete Dawson. Get it hard on the brakes now, down for turn 6, the hairpin, rolls out, turns into turn 7. Has a little bit of a moment to think about things as he comes through 8, heading down to 9, 300R. Is not too much pressure on the tyre through this section, but deep under brakes now for turn 10 at Dunlop. And this is where the track gets really technical. Oh, and you just see them have to just lift a little bit longer there not to run out of track.
Yeah, big stop there, J-Man. Really stressing the limits of the brakes on the Ferrari. Oh, yeah, nice work.
6.4 for Matty Clark, so it's trading up the top road and not behind you boys right now. We thought the numbers were going to come here from Pete Dawson late, but I'll tell you what, they're trading at the top, and that is fantastic to see. Pete Dawson, I think they're certainly going to go personal best here. Where's it going to land him? Currently P12.
Here we go.
Looking for P4, I would think. Didn't come through in the end, only ends up P8.
Just sneaking in front of, I think that's Nick Firth there, has been relegated back to 9th. So
Crossy with a huge lap late there, mate. A 1:36.536. I mean, the 36.4 was super impressive, but Crossy banked one late, and look at the margin between himself and Ichikawa. 6.536, plays 6.585. It is so tight up the top.
Amazing,
Look,
amazing.
my 6.7 just got absolutely smashed. I underestimated how fast these lads can drive.
Awesome stuff. A good quality, like we mentioned, like a pretty stacked field, this top 10 here. There's some very solid talent in that top 10 there. Matty Clark bringing it home, though. J-Man over Steve Crossan sharing the front row there. Isaac Ichikawa, Gunther Rowe sharing the second row. Actually, nice work from Rowe for second row. Costas Makalos, I need to stop that. Costas Makalos, Nathan Bewley on the third row, Harry Lyons, Pete Dawson, Nick Firth, and Robbie Mitchell rounding out the top 10. J-Man, do we want to have a look at the points?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's have a quick look at that. Harry Lyons up the pointy end with the AMG, where is he in qualifying? In 7th on the after qualifying. So yes, Harry Lyons with 91, Nathan Bewley with 84, Costas Makalos in 3rd in 69, not too far back to Matty Clark in at 63, then Chris Fraser, Gunther Rowe, Joseph Marnie, Robbie Mitchell, Hayden Tegg, and Pete Dawson rounding out the top 10. Actually there with 34 points. What is close there, I tell you, is Joseph Marnie, Robbie Mitchell, Hayden Tegg. Oh my, that is a close battle. 45, 45, and 44 respectively, 7th, 8th, and 9th. And back end of the field is Doug Dale, Crossland, Carson, Ichikawa, Perkins, Firth, Worcester, Wozniak, Rodrigo. So he has got 0 points. So obviously first race for Rodrigo, as is Maxime as well. So who else doesn't have points there? Oh, Sam Wozniak. There you go.
Yeah, so that's an interesting battle. You just talked about the points there, and picking on Robbie Mitchell, Hayden Tegg, and Joseph Marnie. So respectfully, they are 10th, 11th, and 13th starting on this grid. So that battle will resume, and I saw you just picking up on those, how close those points were there. So good battle for those boys forming. Obviously a little bit down the grid tonight on that qualifying, but look for them to come through. And also you mentioned Harry Lawrence out of P7. Harry often plays the long game. We've seen him do it from well further back and come through for some fantastic results. So that'll be cool to watch, and welcome aboard to our viewers that are tuning in and having a chat. Lisa, Haley and co. Wazza, Isaac, we do see you there and appreciate all the feedback. So keep it going, and looking for a good race here tonight from these guys. But what a fantastic lap from Matty Clark, and also Steve Crossan to share the front row as well is a great result.
As the boys just get sort of, absolutely, J-Man, as the boys just sort of getting themselves set. Vision's not good, so we'll just hang on that for a moment. We will remind everybody that obviously SimBlack's on board again here for season 12 with the Rainlight Racing boys as always. And mystery prize. They've done this for the last couple of seasons. There's no fanfare. It's just like, no, we'll tell you later. We'll tell you later. So awesome stuff. But great to see the SimBlack's guys obviously back on board, which is awesome. Always big supporters of what's going on with Rainlight Racing. And what's going on with Rainlight Racing at the moment, it is LMU Series 12 here in 2026 on a Monday night. So ladies and gentlemen, Monday nights, that's what's happening at MATCHFIT. And Tuesday nights, J-Man, what have we got on Tuesday nights? Let me think.
Yes, Supercars NZ. So that is another fantastic series. So we switch over to iRacing on a Tuesday night there with the Supercar NZ boys. That'll be a fantastic show. And then obviously we go to Wednesday, we pick up another iRacing schedule on the calendar, and that is with ASRNZ's Porsche Cup Series, and then we go back to ASRNZ again on the Thursday for the GD3 World Challenge. So Plenty going on here at MATCHFIT. If you're a regular supporter and you tune in frequently, you won't be disappointed. There's plenty of action throughout the week now, 4 nights a week. Well, for the immediate future, and obviously series always come to an end and something overlaps, but that is us for the now. As we see these cars come down the line, I'll hand it back to Davo.
Absolutely, J-Man. Busy is the MATCHFIT boys here in the comms box, Davo and J-Man. But where are we now? We are Rainlight Racing, LMU, round 3, Fuji. We have 18 cars on the grid, J-Man, rolling down for a green flag here, long straight away. I won't build up too early. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. Good, clean start. And look at the boys. Look at Crossland all over the back of Clark, Ichikawa and Rhodes. Is that 3 wide? Is it still 3 wide? It is damn near 3 wide. J-Man Ichikawa muscling with Rowe there, through and out of 1. The rest of the field relatively orderly about things, unlike the boys up the front. Look at them flick through that little left-hand kick there before 100 J-Man. Very fast stuff.
Yeah, well, a nice clean getaway there from Matty Clark, and you saw Steve Crossland straight away down the front.
Put the pressure on.
Yep. Trying to get some tie temp in those fronts as they head out here on the first lap, but lots of action between, as you mentioned, Ichikawa and Gunther Road. Now that focus is turned to Nathan Bewley. Harry Lawrence still maintaining that 7th position, and who was that I just seen running wide? And that's Nathan Bewley, and he's out in the dirty stuff, and that's going to pave the way for Costas Macrolos to have a look.
Oh, Macrolos just sneaking the old Lambo up with a little bit of overlap there. Bewley's like, not on this one, mate. All the time, Lawrence there in the background as they round turn 16, J-Man, and out to this huge. You can land an aeroplane on this straight. It is massive.
Yeah, it is.
Clark leading the way. Lap 1.
Macrolos, Lawrence side by side down the front straight. So Merc versus Lamborghini.
Whew. Yeah, bring it on.
With the inside line. And looks to maybe have a little bit more in a straight line, because he does get the overlap, pulls back onto the race line. And who was that in the back?
Does nice.
Pulling out in the Porsche. That would have been, I think, maybe Joseph Marnie. Had a big look. Robbie Mitchell, he's side by side with him now with Rodrigo Rainier.
Marnie there. So Rodrigo's got the box seat here. The 2 Porsches going at it. Marnie and Mitchell. Firth did a bit of clean air, tucked in behind PD. What better person to be just tucked in behind there, actually. Good, clean racer. But Lawrence chasing Macrolos. Macrolos can't concentrate on what's going on in front of him, because there's a lot going on, J-Man. Bewley and Ichikawa here. Look at this fight.
Yeah, it's hard to know where to look at the moment, and I actually just was watching that battle there. Bewley just going to have a run here.
Sorry, comes very wide.
In and out of 11-12.
He's lost he's gone back to 9th, J-Man. So from 4th to 9th, Kawa, that little, just asking too much of the brakes on the big bad Lamborghini there.
Yeah, we've got to get a read too now, Dave.
Here we go.
On the flying lap pace of Matty Clark. He's just lit all the sectors up magenta and goes through for a 37.3, which is very quick.
Just looking over the rear wing of Bewley's car, look at Macrolos in that Lambo. Macrolos got off it again. So, interesting. We see this quite a bit in LMU, J-Man. Saving the energy. Didn't go for the pass. And I don't think it is... Who's that in the background? It might have been... It was PD, actually, too. Getting off the back of Lawrence as well, down the straight, and not forcing the pass. So a little bit of tactics coming in to play already, J-Man. This is the beginning of lap 3, should I say. Who's going backwards there? So that's Crossland been
Crossed
around.
a long way back, so missed that one there.
So that's unfortunate.
Yep, so I'll
Wow.
go back myself and have a quick look at that, see what that looks like, Davo.
J-Man will give us an update on that. So, the number 43, Sim Blacks, Aston Martin, slipping down the grid a little bit, just a smidge. Gunther Rowe now in second, obviously, because we saw Ichikawa make mistakes as well. Gunther Rowe now sitting in third, second, J-Man.
So it was 100R, turn 4 and 5, the
right-hand
sweeper.
Yep.
Yeah, it just brought him out. The car started to let go. He went to catch it, and it snapped back over there, and it just no damage to the car. But however, this early in the piece, with how close the field is, it cost him a lot of positions.
This fight, just watching PD, the body language in PD's car there, well away out of the air of, who's that in front of him, Lawrence there. Actually, he's backed right off. Has he made a mistake in his fuel loads or something? He's actually looked like he let Firthy pass. Here's Ichikawa coming back. Yeah,
well, Firthy got through, but actually just unfortunately got that wrong, and now that's paved the way back for PD and Isaac Ichikawa to get back through. So, I'm not sure what was going on there with Pete. Maybe that's a hardware issue.
No, it looked a bit weird. He got right out of the race line down the front start-finish straightaway there. And then in, I think, T3 there, it looked like he almost let Firth literally drive past him there. Unfortunate for Firthy, like you mentioned, J-Man, just a little bit of a mishap on the next corner. Allows PD back through. And Isaac Ichikawa, who's in recovery mode anyway, mind you. I mean, this car should be up a couple more positions than even what it is now. So,
yeah. And look, Matty Clark is doing a fantastic job out there at the moment. He's just going to come through and bank another lap, which was a 37.438. And he is not saving energy at all. He is literally hammered down.
That time though, J-Man. I mean, damn, that's quicker than the one you predicted, wasn't it? No. Maybe not quite.
No, I was a 6.7, mate. But,
okay.
Nice try. But no, look, Matty Clark's out there doing a great job, and I reckon he'll have a strategy plan and play. Unlike maybe you mentioned a little bit earlier, the likes of PD and a couple of the other boys, maybe just trying to energy and fuel save. And we've talked to these drivers post-race and what it can mean, 2-3 seconds. In the pit lane if they can conserve, and that if they're in touch with the leaders, as we see Harry Lawrence with a big look on Costas Makrolos, and that would be
down at the hairpin there after 100. So nice work. We're just looking out of the rear windscreen of who is that? It is Bewley's car. So we are watching that live here at the moment. Nice work, and look at the body language of Lawrence on Makrolos, mind you, as well. He's really attacking. He's trying to push those weaknesses that the Lambo might have at the hands of Makrolos there. Just trying to push the limit there. Find out where that weakness is.
Yeah, look, that Lamborghini did look strong on the straight earlier. So, interesting to see.
Very strong on the straight, mate. Yes. Let's see if we can get out of the Makrolos car here. Just watch it. But like a few laps ago, and as we just see, Bewley got a little bit deep there, but doesn't even contemplate passing.
No, and I tell you what, Joseph Marnie, Sam Carson now side by side. I saw Sam Carson go to the outside of turn 1. Marnie covered the inside. A little bit of a paint exchange down between 2 and 3 now. But he looked to go to the outside and do the switchback on him, and that's just invited a recovering Steve Crossland back to that pit as well.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Plenty going on back there. Hayden Tegg, he is in the fight here as well. So Good showing too from Rodrigo Rainier as well. He is currently sitting P9, so he's just up the road a little bit from these boys.
Good, solid stuff. Just looking in the background there. Who is that? That is Carson and Crossland exchanging, and that is Hayden Tagg in the background with the big mouthy Porsche.
Yeah. Hungry.
Very hungry, and obviously Ken Worcester. Who can forget Ken Worcester? Have a look at this car. Ken always paints an awesome car, J-Man. The Mustang, looking hot. For season 12 here, J-Man. Crossy, has he got Carso's measure here in a straight line? He's up underneath the wing.
Pulls out. So look for Carson to maybe do a switch back here.
Oh, Carso! Mega deep under brakes. Just Crossy unfazed by it. I've seen it before, mate.
And that was Ken Worcester on.
Oh, it was too, in the background.
Well,
yeah, nice work, nice work.
So wheels, has got some wheels on tonight. He is on the hunt.
He's got the rubber band in the Mustang wound tight. J-Man, getting it done.
Yep. Oh, but I tell you what, it just keeps flashing up on my data. Matty Clark ran a 36.9 and then backed it up with a 37.0 and then backed it up with a personal and session best in sector 1 again. So that car has got so much pace on it at the moment. Looking at the energy, he is using a lot, 78% versus, you know, the likes of Crossland 80%, Carso 80%.
Sure.
Guys around him, Nathan Bewley particularly good with his. You talked about him rolling out earlier. Harry Lawrence making a bit of time for pit lane as well, by way of just sitting in the toe of Nathan Bewley at the moment, trying to just buy a couple of seconds in the pit lane later on.
So Macalos back behind Nick Firth, J-Man.
Yep.
We were just talking about how quick that car
Temporarily.
was.
And who's that? That's Joseph Marnie, and that must be
that is
Rodrigo.
Macalos past Firth.
No, it's Robbie Mitchell and Joseph Marnie. You talked about these guys in the championship, and they are literally fighting it out there on track at the moment for 9th and 10th.
Yeah, well, that is actually the closest championship battle at the moment in the championship, and it is bloody tight. What do I call? I think it was 35, 45, 45, 44. Whoever the third driver was.
Hayden Tagg. He's currently sitting P14. He's on the back of Ken Worcester. Yeah.
You can bring that back up there. Actually, just have a sticky bit with that. There it is. Joseph Marty, Robbie Mitchell, and Hayden Tagg. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So that is worth the fight, right there. Those boys going at it as we would expect. So Macalos, how did he lose? He's just gotta get that focus back, get past. He's already stuck past, obviously, Nick Firth, but he's got to get back past Pete Dawson as well and get back in that train. Long way back, and Matty Clark, class act. Down across the start finish line and down into T1 again.
5 seconds now, Davo, 5.5.
On Gunther, solid effort so far. He does have Bewley and loads in tow. These guys aren't far behind, so he needs to stay focused.
Yeah, Pete Dawson lapping some good numbers as well. Last lap was his best, 37.7. So he can see Harry Lawrence and Nathan Bewley just up the road a little bit. So I think, what has he got? Maybe about 3 odd seconds up there to Harry Lawrence.
So Nick Firth under fire from Rodrigo. I think I just got a text message from Firthy just saying, can you get some cameras on Rodrigo and give him the commentator's curse?
Yeah, Rodrigo is definitely putting the pressure on. As look at this battle behind them. That is now Steve Crossland on the back of Robbie Mitchell. And down the inside, slides it down there. Joseph Marnie's going to try and go with him.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. Well, well, well. He was stuck. He was like a Porsche sandwich there.
Yep.
Which is a weird vision in itself, but stuck between the two Porsches there, and like just sends it. Sneaks past Marnie. Oh, Mitchell, should I say. Marnie's gone with. And off they go. Lap 10. Oh, it's still going. Still going in the background here. Look at these two.
Yeah, they're battling hard.
Side by side.
That's not done. That's not done.
Ooh, that is close. A little bit of a muscle from Mitchell just going, hang on, I want that bit of road out there.
Yeah, this is fantastic racing from these two drivers. They are separated by nothing as they come out of 5, down to 6 here.
Oh, who's just turned up on the scene though? Sam Carlson. Has Marnie just dropped out of that, like totally? It just looks like he's totally backed that thing off. Watching the fuel gauge, J-Man, do you suspect?
Could be a little bit of that. Maybe just trying to, if that's the fight, maybe you try and make margin on the guy in front of you. He might be looking at the numbers. What do they look like? So we're talking about Marnie, Mitchell. So Marnie 69%, Robbie Mitchell 69%. So they are about the same, but they tell you what, they're burning it up as well.
No doubt, no doubt.
Harry Lawrence on Nathan Bewley as we speak, side by side down the front straight. And he's got the inside line. Does Bewley look for a switchback here? No, he's going to run the high line.
Oh, but hang on, look at this. But it just doesn't provide the pace, does it, on the switchback on that T1 here at Fuji, J-Man? Because you actually get such a good run out on the inside anyway. A little bit of camber there. Cars work well. Lawrence, J-Man, class act there into 1.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're right there, Sue. Matty is absolutely just dominating this field at the moment. The lap times are super consistent. Last lap time round was a 37.1, best time of 36.9. So he is on fire. You're correct as well. I did see that battle sneak up. Steve Crossland on the recovery mission. He is going to set focus on Rodrigo Rainier very shortly. Just see the lap time there. Crossy's just set his personal best last lap round, 37.4, and closing that margin down to around about a second.
Crossland's shown awesome pace tonight, J-Man. We saw it in pre-race practice, good qualifying, and just a little bit of a snap there in T4-5. The Aston bit back, and he's definitely in recovery mode. Look at Lawrence going. Gunther Rowe just keeping his cool here. Glowing brakes on the Porsche there. Working hard into 1. So good, just a very even gap between Rowe, Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence is on a mission though. Fastest lap round for him last lap round, 7.4, and he did that at a time where Gunther Rowe actually had a track cut, so I'm not getting a read on that time, but Rowe's best time is actually a 7.2. So he is got some pace.
Close stuff. So, like, I'll just finish. Rowe, Lawrence, and Bewley, like very even gaps between those 3 guys. PD just a little, maybe a couple of tenths back from those gaps there. But then Macalos, Firth, Rodrigo, J-Man, again, the cars look spread a little bit, but very equal gaps. And who's coming back through the field there? None other than famous Crossy, Steve Crossland in the Sim Blacks Aston Martin. And he will want to challenge that BMW pretty soon, I would suspect, just given his pace so far tonight. Out of 16. Tricky corner, J-Man. It's really cambered nicely as you run into 16, and as you pop out onto the straight, it just flattens out, and very difficult to get that thing down.
Sorry to interrupt you, Davo, but
now.
You need to have a quick look at Harry Lawrence. The margin on Gunther Rowe now, it's just evaporated.
So that's Rowe. Looks like he's come back to Lawrence there a little bit. The gap doesn't look like it's changed much back to Bewley. PD in tow, so Gunther's maybe just running out of something in the Porsche there. J-Man's definitely come back to Lawrence, so Lawrence has been chasing him though, you can tell just from his times.
Yeah, look, it's by the tune of an 8.5 versus 7.3, I think last time around, so I think Harry Lawrence 7.3 last lap around, his personal best of the race, at a time where Gunther Rowe ran an 8.5 as well. So might be a little bit more to that as we see the lap times come in for this lap as well, because maybe the start of the lap didn't happen so good because he is all over him. 7.1 seconds the margin now for the Matty Clark over Gunther Rowe though, so that is still building. But we talk about Harry Lawrence playing the long game, and he does it so well. Qualified around, I think, P7. Eyes were raised at that, but no surprises to see him work his way up the field. And Pete Dawson as well. Pete Dawson qualified P8, currently sitting P5.
Yeah, nice gains from both the boys. And Lawrence again, look, I wouldn't even think that he'd have a crack here. He's got out. He's going to, he's got overlap. He's going to do it.
Very good in the late phase of the braking there. Just grabbed that pedal a little bit longer, put the car in the middle of the corner, so Gunther couldn't do anything about it, took the line away, and gets through.
And look, the way I read that, it looked like Gunther did not try and cover it all. And I think Gunther, like myself, thought that Lawrence wasn't going to have a go and was going to just, conserve that for another lap or so, and that he was just going to sit behind. And at the last second, Lawrence out, like you said, tested the brakes in that late phase of the braking there, and just got it done. Nice work.
Steve Crossland now, Davo.
He's going to do this. Watch this. Oh, he's got to have a go here. Oh, Rodrigo, so smooth under brakes there, J-Man. The slightest of covers to Crossland, didn't even really need to do it, just had the pace in. He knew he had the pace in under brakes in the BMW. Oh. What's that little fight going on just in front of them? Oh, that's Firthy trying to stick on the back of Macalos. But this is the fight here. Rodrigo, JB. Well healthy. Who is that in the background there as well? That's Ichikawa out and in.
Crossland.
Sorry, J-Man. Ichikawa in the pit lane.
Okay, so that would seem a little early. Crossland thought he had it done, but no.
It looked like Rodrigo, but he definitely covered that time in the one there. And look at how quick the Aston is there. Mid-corner, the gain. It's almost like half. The mid-corner and exit speed of the Aston through 100 there is amazing. Unbelievable. Famous Crossy. in the famous car, the number 43 Sim Blacks, Aston Martin, J-Man. Nice work from crossing. Good par.
Yeah, Maxime Mollier and Sam Wozniak keeping each other busy. Good to see the caddy out the back there. It's infamous sound of that V6, I believe. It's Matty Clark now 8.5 odd seconds up the road now from what is now Harry Lawrence. So round 8, yeah, 8 to 8.5. It fluctuates obviously in the lap, but Matty's still doing very good laps. Last lap round a 7.4 versus the competition that is coming, a 7.9. So margin's still going way by the way of Matty Clark, but I'll tell you what, these guys play it very, very well. And Harry Lawrence, 4% better off on the VE. So what that means, less time in the pit lane later in the piece.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it means, J-Man. And we've seen races won from that, haven't we?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So to answer George Goddard's question, who is watching on, I think, you know, big run wide there from Harry Lawrence. That was uncharacteristic mistake there, but yeah, certainly, you know, they talk about obviously the amount of VE, the amount that they have to put in these cars to get home. They'll run it long. That could be worth as much as 3-4 seconds. So he'll be looking to try and pull this margin down from the 8 odd seconds that it is to somewhere around maybe 6 seconds to see if he's got anything left for the fight. But we know how good Matty Clark is, and if he has track position, it's going to be a hard job. Yeah, so Sue's just tuned in there. Matt is thinking about it. These guys have super acute awareness about what's happening around them. So Matt'll be aware of the numbers, but he's got to go out there and race his own race now. He's realistically just got to keep hitting those numbers. He's still quicker. He's got to keep trying to drive that margin out, pull it out to maybe 10 seconds and cover off what would effectively be the undercut at pit lane, or the overcut, I think they call it, because obviously Harry potentially be able to stay out there a little bit longer. You can see it on the graphic up there. Well, actually, no, you can't unless Davo brings it up, but I can tell you it's 47% VE versus 52%.
Empty remaining. I don't think it shows it very well here on our totem, unfortunately. So, I tried. I got nothing.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm calling it. 47 plays 51.
J-Man's got the stats.
That's the energy. So, on an average of a 5-lap average, I can tell you that Matty Clark is burning around about 3.1% a lap versus Harry Lawrence's 2.7. So that's the numbers, and that is up there with the best of them. You've got other guys like Nathan Bewley, very efficient. Same with Pete Dawson in the Ferrari, Costas Makrolos in the Lamborghini. So 5-lap average on the times for Matty Clark, a 138.3 versus a 138.7 for Gunther Rowe. But Nathan Bewley, last 5-lap average, 37.2. So look for Nathan Bewley here to rein in Gunther Rowe, and as I speak, yeah, definitely is on the back of Gunther Rowe now. So that car is very consistent at the latter part of the run.
Yeah, big gains there, J-Man, from Bewley. A little bit similar to Lawrence's gain on Rowe there as well. Oh, as we
Bit
just
of a run wide for Bewley.
Yeah, uncharacteristic little mistake there from Bewley. I just wonder whether he was a little distracted, because PD's actually come with him up to the back of Rowe here. These guys very close together there. I'm not sure whether he was sort of expecting to see PD's white Ferrari in the mirror as he just tipped it in. And
Harry Lawrence in the fence.
Oh, no, no, no. We just saw that as the boys sneak past there. Oh, it just gets that thing turned around.
Yeah, so that is...
That was Macalos and Crossland just sneaking past there.
That's out of turn 12, 13 there. That tight infield section at the back of the lap. Car doesn't look to be overly damaged. But
Okay,
you know how sensitive these things are, even with the smallest touch.
What a shake-up though, J-Man. And look, the car he's only just dropped a couple of positions. He's dropped Macalos and Firth here. And look at Firth covering a J-Man on Macalos. Macalos is going, oh, we got Crossy behind us, bro. We gotta get on it here. Oh! A little bit of gizzing there from Firth on the back of the Lamborghini. Crossy's like focused on this lot.
Yeah, so that's a 7 position loss for Harry Lawrence there. So that just shows you still how close the field is. What a battle we got going on here with Costas, Macalos, and Steve Costin looking. He knows he's got a strong suit here in and out of turn 5 and 6. He goes to the outside looking for a cutback here at the hairpin.
Oh, and gizzing.
On Aston.
Gizzing from Crossland too. We just saw that from Firthy on the back of the Lamborghini on Macalos. Firthy covered all the way down the start-finish straight. Macalos still was able to sneak past. Firthy protesting the whole way. Here we go into this little back sector, J-Man. Tricky stuff. You can see the camber run away. Cambered nicely here, and you can just see these corners. See how it just changes there. Cambers off. Tricky stuff.
Yeah, nice little reprieve there for Matty Clark as well. 13.1 seconds now, the difference between himself and Gunther Rowe. Really just takes a lot of pressure off now at that pit stop time for Matty. Can just literally let the heart rate settle down a little bit, do all those little 1% things correctly when he decides to come in. So I think that would have changed the mindset towards the back part of the race here. So look, he's done everything right, but this battle at the moment, Macalos Firth Crossland is really getting intense now as we see Crossland just really try and make back all that margin that he had so early in the piece before that turn 4, turn 5 got away on him.
Absolutely, J-Man. Just looking over the rear quarter, we'll get a little bit of footage here just out of the back of Macalos' Lamborghini, which is the back guards on this thing are so wide I can hardly see anything, but there you go. Good shot of the two Astons there. That is Nick Firth and Steve Crossland recovering again. J-Man, get over the rear quarter of the Ferrari of Pete Dawson, and it's a whole bunch of bloody Nathan Bewley, my friend. And that Lexus, that Tokyo taxi's not going anywhere. The V8 taxi, that thing. Look at that thing.
But importantly, he did get it done. So he did get through. So obviously we saw, Bewley make that mistake, and obviously Pete Dawson, they were right on Gunther Rowe again, and then it spread out again, and Dawson threw on Bewley. So that's Pete Dawson.
Plenty going on. And look at that. That is recovering Harry Lawrence that's tagging onto the back of that Macalos Firth Steve Crossland battle. J-Man.
Yeah, so word for pit lane, that car has lost no pace at all after that little incident down there at turn 13.
Firthy covering again, J-Man.
Yeah, he is.
On Crossy.
All right, and look, and he did a good job. I think spatial awareness there for Firthy, very, very good. He knew that Crossy was going to have a crack there, and he just drove it down in there and got the car exited really beautifully. But yeah, only a 1/10 of a second away last lap round for Harry Lawrence on his personal best. So look out, because he is about to join this party. He will be on the back of Steve Crossland very, very shortly. So that's why I think Crossland's trying to get a wriggle on here. Try and put a car in between himself and Harry Lawrence, because he is coming in quick. Matty Clark still holding 13 seconds over Gunther Rowe. Davo Obviously, we don't need to say too much about the Pete Dawson-Nathan Bewley battle because it is on.
Well, we will get to it because it is on. That is definitely not over yet. And where are we at time-wise, J-Man? It's plenty to go still. We've got more than 40 minutes of racing yet to come here, ladies and gentlemen. The guys haven't even done a pit stop. We see Lawrence tag in the back.
Give him a tickle up.
Off the Crossland car there. We're looking over the rear wing at Nick Firth. Nick Firth's like, okay, I'll take a breath. You guys carry on. Nice work.
Yeah, look, Bewley hasn't given up on Pete Dawson here, so he's just settled back down as well. The lap times are good. Last lap round was a 7.7 for Pete Dawson and a 7.7 also for Nathan Bewley, hence why they are so close. They're just locked in a battle here, and I reckon they're actually closing in a little bit on Gunther Rowe now, so they've just settled down, maybe working together a little bit. So if I lean back towards the VE, because that's pretty important stuff at pit stop time. Matty Clark down to 32%, Gunther Rowe 34%. So obviously with Harry lawrence just exiting stage left out of that battle, it's certainly a lot closer there for who he's racing on pit road now. It's only about 1.5% in it. Recap on the first stint, Bill on the Hill. I can tell you now that it has all been Matty Clark's way. We had a very fast Steve Crossland in the opening segment of the race, got undone at 100R, turn 4, turn 5, and went a long way back. He is on his way back through.
As did Isaac Ichikawa as well, J-Man.
Yeah, Ichikawa also, went back, and we have seen also Harry Lawrence go from effectively P2, lose 7 positions and go back. He is on the comeback trail now, putting a whole lot of pressure on the back of the likes of Steve Crossland, Nick Firth and co. Also great battle early in the piece between the likes of Joseph Marnie and Robbie Mitchell. Now I've got Ken Worcester in between them, because Ken Worcester himself has actually moved forward quite nicely throughout this race. Currently sees himself in P11, so he has been performing beautifully. Obviously early exit for Lee, Merlin, Perkins, so unfortunate, mate. But look, action-packed here at Fuji. Fantastic piece of racetrack, but right at the minute, all going the right way for Matty Clark. 14 seconds. I just saw flash up there the distance between myself and Gunther Rowe.
Yep.
And we can see that gap now starting to close. It's only around, what do we got? 1.2 seconds between PD, 1.1 seconds between PD and Nathan Bewley. Might as well call them both together because they are that close, as Bewley just has to open the steering up not to tag the back of the Ferrari there as they came up through turn 12, turn 13 there.
Yeah, close stuff. Close racing continues between Dawson and Bewley there, J-Man, as we just picked up on the SIMRACING car, famous Crossy, in the pits. J-Man
opted to get out of it.
Yeah. So that is pretty well the first official pit stop, I think, isn't it?
I believe so. Hang on a sec.
Hang on. I think this graphic actually works. Oh, maybe it doesn't. But yes, there you go. Oh yes, it does. There you go. Tex, Crossland, and Wozniak. Alright, another one. Who's that? Ichikawa has been in as well. So just coming up there on the totem. Ladies and gentlemen, Davo did something. I clicked the right button this time, ladies and gentlemen. That's worthy of a like, I think. And if you're new to the channel, a subscribe as well. Thank you very much. I think I did okay. There you go. Awesome racing from the boys here at Rainlow Racing in their 2026 MATCHFIT Entertainment LMU Season 12 here, backed once again, as always, by Sim Blacks and of course MATCHFIT, with all of our crew, the GAMAFLARE boys, Sky 83, Face TV and NZ. Getting a little bit of coverage over there lately as well. And obviously Supercars NZ. J-Man, what do you got your eyes on at the moment?
So for me, I'm just looking at Harry Lawrence just putting a move on Nick Firth, who just ran a little bit deep there down at turn 15, and Lawrence just getting a bit of that. I wondered whether Firthy was maybe on the dials getting ready for a pit stop, and he was indeed. So just a little bit of break in concentration as he was setting the car up to come and make this official pit stop, grab a big dose of fuel and some energy and head on home.
Yeah.
So,
and look, we talk about the distraction, isn't it, on that in-lap quite often. The boys are just making sure they've got everything set, they're right, and they're focused on that in-lap, and it can distract them a little bit. And, Nick Firth in the pit lane.
Yeah, so, hey, looking at those numbers, still top end of town, Matty Clark, 23%, so still plenty more left in the tank. We did hear from Elvis saying that, Crossy just rolled the dice here and grabbed a set of tyres, so a little bit of an alternate strategy here, maybe looking for something special at the back end when everybody's starting to struggle, and maybe not a bad play there with the way that we're seeing these pit stops.
True.
Obviously, the longer guys go on, I guess the harder it is for that strategy to work, but Crossy taking it relatively early, so the car will be strong at the back end, and he was racing Harry Lawrence, Costas Makrolos and Nathan Bewley, so look to see how that unfolds post pit stops. Yeah, so did pick up on that. Clark managing the gap maybe. Yeah, he has just fired around about 3.5 seconds out of that, so I'll get a read on the lap time for Matty Clark and just see what that looks like. 37.6 last lap, so I guess we won't get a read. Oh no, that was last lap, 37.6, so that's not a bad lap time, so maybe he's just looking to drive to a number here until he makes his pit stop. But how is the battle? These guys have caught back up to Gunther Rowe. That is Pete Dawson, Nathan Bewley, and Gunther Rowe. That will effectively, from what we can see, be some sort of a podium order, maybe.
Yeah, it's sort of starting to get a little bit like that, isn't it, J-Man? Where, look, what have we got? 33 minutes left to run.
Yep, that'll be somewhere second and third they're going to fight about, because at the moment Matty Clark has just got full control of this race.
With over 11 seconds, J-Man, you did call that 10-second mark for his gap.
So he's just pulled it out a little bit more again. So we saw it out as far as 14 seconds.
I did notice we just actually rolled through the field there. A minute or so ago there, and all the boys actually quite close together, even Clark to Rowe. So Clarky, but like you said, it just gives him that little bit of wriggle room. If he has used a little bit more VE than some of the other quick guys in the field, that just gives him that little bit of wriggle room. But you did call out the VE, the numbers on Rowe and Clark, his number didn't seem that high, considering how hard he seems to be pushing and getting that good gap.
There's about 1.5 to 2% difference between what they've got left on board, and it can fluctuate. Like Gunther Rowe last lap round used 3.1%, as did Matty Clark. So it was a push lap for Gunther Rowe and a push lap for Matty Clark. Matty Clark can get down to 3.0. But we've also seen some of the cars hovering around that 2.7. Pete Dawson in the current battle, in comparison last that round, 2.7% that he used. He's on 23. He's got a lot more in the bank than the likes of Matty Clark. He's got around about 4%, 4.5% in the bank over Gunther Rowe. So if they were to pit this way right now, you could quite possibly see Pete Dawson jump Gunther Rowe in the pit lane, and also Nathan Bewley. Not as good as Pete Dawson, but for me, out of these three here that are battling for second and third on the podium, I think Pete Dawson looks in the box seat.
I tend to agree, J-Man. I called him as one of the qualifying contenders, and then I think I pulled my head in a little bit and just went, yeah, maybe not. But here he is. Third position at the moment. VE's looking good. Good, solid race from PD. Like a few of these guys, like we've seen some of the boys come and go. We've seen the Ichikawas and Steve Crosslands and the like make some pretty major slip-ups. But who has stayed solid is definitely Matty Clark, Gunther Rowe, and Pete Dawson, J-Man. So definitely worthy of being 1, 2, 3 at the moment.
Yeah, and what that looks like for us here up at the box, for those of you viewing, obviously we've got a lot of data going on, and you know, if we get round in the lap and they start heading towards the start-finish line, and somebody like, let's say for argument's sake, Gunther Rowe has 3% energy left, he's going to have to roll out of it that lap to actually make the lap before he gets into pit lane. So
yes,
if he's anywhere around 3.1 to 3.3% VE left, I suspect he'll come in. Whereas if you look at somebody like Pete Dawson, who can comfortably get round a lap on anywhere from 2.7 to 2.9%, it may just give him that ability to just go one more, as you mentioned, George Goddard, and maybe get that overcut. We know that it means a shorter fueling time. It could buy him some track position. So it is going to be super spicy at the back end between these three, as Harry Lawrence.
Absolutely, man. We will actually bring up the number of stops there again. I don't think it's up. Oh, it has updated actually, because Lawrence is actually going to pit stop as well.
Yep. And out ahead of Nick Firth, importantly as well.
Oh, there you go.
So that would see Harry Lawrence at the top of the tree, I believe, as far as the pit stoppers are concerned. 56% energy to bring this one home for a little under a half an hour. Over a big difference there for Nick Firth, 62%, 60% for Ichikawa. Obviously a couple of retirements, Sam Wozniak, Lee Perkins, early exit, Lee choosing to sit in and enjoy the show.
Well, we'd expect that from Lee, you know.
What, not finishing or enjoying the show?
I've got maybe a little bit of both columns, if you're listening.
He's listening, surely.
Larry. Nonetheless, look at what is going on here with Nick Firth and Harry Lawrence. J-Man, what the hell happened here? We've got Nick Firth challenging for the position.
Yeah, so that was reset at pit stop time, and now Firthy's like
getting it done.
Yeah, he's trying to have another crack here, and does so. So Aston got a lot of pace on board as he just comes across the race line. He's obviously quite aware of where the car was.
Oh yeah, no, confident that he had the pace and the braking ability to get the car out there and stop it as well. Lawrence having no choice but to follow the leader there. J-Man really didn't have anything for the Firthies. Aston Martin there, so nice work from Firth actually.
Yeah, see, 5% difference between Gunther Rowe on the VE versus Pete Dawson. I think the longer this goes on, the better this looks for Pete Dawson.
Absolutely.
Only 2.5–3% between Bewley and Dawson, so that's going to be a lot tighter.
Yeah.
So look for these guys to probably go at a very similar time. Gunther Rowe's potentially going to have to go a lap earlier than these boys, because at 5%, you know they can make one more lap.
Yeah, so Gunther being obviously the most vulnerable out of the three of them there, isn't he, J-Man? So,
yep.
But a good close proximity from these three. The pit stop, the official pit stop for these guys will be critical. Where are we at? A little over 25 minutes yet to run, 26 and 20 seconds to be precise.
Yes, George, if he could go 2 more laps, that would be spectacular. I think that may be a stretch. We'll see what it looks like once they get there. What I can tell you now is Matty Clark's probably only got, at the high end, 2 more laps in it. I would say Matty Clark's going to go at the end of this one 6%. We know he'll burn every bit of 3.1% of that this lap, which will leave him a little shy for the next one. So look for Matty Clark to come in on lap 32 of this race, sorry. No stress though, 13 seconds,
No,
Davo.
No freaking stress at all.
No.
As we get out of the front of Harry Lawrence chasing down Firthy here, J-Man, this is undoubtedly the 2 closest cars on track at the moment. Lawrence with a bit of overlap, just forcing Firthy wide, but it's so hard to make it with the corners double back on each other. It's like 4 of them together, and here we go, this run out of 16.
Harry Lawrence got good drive.
Yeah, working it side by side again. Watch the power of the acid. This is a true drag race right here.
And with Harry Lawrence with maybe a little bit of front splitter damage from that incident earlier on as well, won't be helping him. But looks to have the overlap down to 1. What can Firthy do with this? Deep under brakes is Nick Firth. Look for a switch back here.
What a move from Lawrence, J-Man.
Good stuff.
Once again, and we saw him do that
Flack
earlier on row, J-Man, and really at right at the end of the braking, he's just got a little bit more out of the Merc, hasn't he? And he can still get that thing to turn in. So nice work from Lawrence on Firthy there. So what did you say? Oh, sorry, Clarkie in, which puts Gunther in the lead. Matthew Clark, and yes, welcome Sue. Yes, always an avid viewer here at MatchFit Entertainment, and we've got somebody else, another Matty Clark fan up there as well. So awesome stuff. Glad to have you guys on board. Remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons, ladies and gentlemen, and help support Rainlight Racing and MatchFit in the process. Matt Clark out of the pits, J-Man. Okay, where is this going to land? Look at Dawson and Bewley at the moment. It's got to be Rowe. Rowe's got to go.
Gunther Rowe has to come in this lap. He's been burning up 3.1% per lap.
Yeah.
You can see, for me on my data, Pete Dawson sitting in behind 2.9%. 2.7% last lap round versus Gunther Rowe's 3.1. So these boys, I don't think they're going to get 2 more. They will come close. If they come in with 6% across the line, they could potentially stretch it out to 2. But I only think, based on proximity, they only need 1 to be able to overlap. So the fight here.
Here we go, out in front of Bewley's car. Rowe in the pit lane. So Dawson grabs the bit of
looking for the draft.
He grabs a bit of wing off the back of Rowe's car. Steals it away from the Lexus, the taxi.
So you see Pete Dawson cross the line with over 6% there. He could actually
do 2 laps.
Yeah, Nathan Bewley can't. He's on 4%. So he has to come in this
PD could
lap.
do 2 laps, couldn't he?
He could do 2. So Georgie called it, and he potentially could do it. Whether he risks that or not, because these will be push laps. However, Pete Dawson, 2.7 on the burn that last round. Nathan Bewley, 3.1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to stick with this a little bit here. A couple of things going on in the background here. Obviously, Matty coming across the line. We've got Robbie Mitchell in the pit lane. Have we lost Robbie Mitchell there for some reason? We think we might have.
No, Robbie Mitchell's in the lane. He's on the box, just come off the jacks, and he's on his way out as well. So look for Harry Lawrence and Nick Firth to come past.
But
Robbie Mitchell.
Well, look at this. Look at this. Out of the windscreen of Nathan Bewley, a J-Man. You've called it. You've got the stats, my friend, and you have got the MatchFit abacus well oiled, and you know Gunther had to go in that last lap, and you pretty much know Bewley's got to go this lap, doesn't he?
Pete Dawson can go again. Go again.
Look
Stretch
at
it
this.
right
Well,
out.
here we
Go
go.
for a
Here it
really
is,
short
ladies
stop.
and gentlemen. Listen.
There you go.
That
Georgie called it. It was actually Goddard that actually called it.
There you
Imagine
go.
if he could go 2 laps. I reckon he could read it.
Big brain,
So-
George Goddard. Yeah, baby. We need him in the box. Nice work. So, there you go. Bewley in the pits. J-Man. What a spectacular end of the race coming up here. 20 minutes to run.
Matty Clark is ragging this thing. You would think that he's under pressure from the pit lane manoeuvres. Absolutely not. But I tell you what, through 13, 14, 15, and 16, he was sideways. So good stuff.
That looks like Sam Carson actually in the background. J-Man maybe just sneaking into the pit lane.
He's just come in the lane as well. Yep.
So Floria pit stops here. Rodrigo just rolling out in the BMW.
Another one super efficient as well. Costas Makrolos. Don't forget about him. He is on the same amount of energy burned as Pete Dawson. Actually, Pete Dawson's wound the wick up on this last lap. 3.1% this lap. He is burning it all up.
He knows he's got it.
So he was driving that thing conservatively.
And we know Makrolos conserves well as well, J-Man. So, no surprise to see Makrolos up there. Let's get the pit stoppy button here. David's going to hit the pit stop button here. Let's bring him up there, ladies and gentlemen.
Archie's excited.
Archie's, he's stoked. And Makrolos in. He's going, Davo, Makrolos is coming in. So, go Archie.
And he burned it up. He come in on 0.something% at Makrolos. And he was the same as PD on the way in. And I tell you what, look for this manoeuvre. You got to keep your eye. It won't be so much on Matty Clark because he's going to clear these guys. He's going to go straight to the top, back into that P1 position as he rolls out of turn 16. But it'll be all about where does Bewley and Gunther Rowe. Now, Bewley did manage to grab Gunther Rowe in that pit exchange by way of slightly better energy.
Dawson off the pit, off the jacks and rolling. Oh, why have we not got cameras on? PD, he is rolling down the straight. Bewley. This is gonna be close.
Here comes PD. Here comes Nathan Bewley.
Look at.
Goes for an outside move out, breaks himself into one. PD's going to claim this.
So close.
That was the fight, but look at the margin that they put on Gunther Rowe by way of making that time in pit lane, by way of the energy. Matty Clark, the gap now. We saw him, it was over 11 seconds, it's now 9.4. He will just bring this thing home for the next 18 minutes. Still got the lap time. He just came through on a 38.3, so we'll watch those lap times intently over the next 6 or so minutes to see what that looks like for the last 10-minute run home. But Pete Dawson, I reckon he's got a fight on his hands with Bewley now.
Oh, I think so as well. J-Man, like you mentioned, not long to go now, 17 odd minutes. The fight is on. That is Makrolos, not too far behind. Lawrence, obviously Firth. All of these boys are keen for a look in, but well back on what's going on up the front here. Oh, big slip again. You called it. He's driving it like he stole it. It's like qualifying laps. Yes. And we're like, what, 15 minutes? 17 minutes to run in the race.
Yeah. Just remember, Crossland rolled the dice too, Davo. He's currently sitting P11 and he's got sights about 5 seconds up the road as Isaac Ichikawa, but Crossland got a set of tyres on in that pit stop. Probably one of the only guys to go down that route. So look for that car to be strong in the final 10 minutes of this race.
Look, I'll tell you where the fight's going to be, J-Man, and you probably already know. It's PD and Nathan Bewley here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all right.
This is going to be an epic finish to this race. Gunther Rowe in the background. The energy on that car, just that consumption, more than anything, probably lost that position to Guthrie. Costas, just watch this camera pan. It's just pans back, and there's Costas Makalos in the pink lane again.
Raise a couple of questions though over Nathan Bewley and Gunther Rowe energy remaining. They are a couple of the lowest base cars there on 31% versus Matty Clark's 38, Pete Dawson's 32. So he's a percent better off than those boys, and also Harry Lawrence 32%. But a lot of the other boys in the higher 35 to 38% range. So I just wonder how tight that's going to be at the back end. We know these guys, it's all about the stationary time in the pit lane and whether or not they can just buy some time. We know that Pete Dawson did all the hard work, as did Nathan Bewley in the opening stanza of this race, and that's given them that track position for second and third, potentially on the podium over Gunther Rowe. However, is it at the cost? Is there an invoice to pay for the lack of energy applied in the pit lane? We're going to find out inside the next 15 minutes, but once again, no such issue for Matty Clark. 8.4 the margin now, so the boys just stripped another second out of that margin. So yeah, Clarkie just needs eyes forward, drive the numbers, bring this one home.
Absolutely, J-Man. Look, we've seen this. We saw it last season at the end of 2025 in season 11. And we're seeing it again here in 2026 with season 12. These little, the Rainlight Racing boys have just got just enough time on these races. They're like little micro enduros. They've just got enough time on them to really make these guys think, J-Man. And there's a little bit of strategy there, just enough to really change these races up at the end. And here we are, just under 15 minutes to run, and look at the fight we've got on our hand. This may as well be lap 5. You know how close these two boys are.
Yeah, look, some more stats through from pit lane as well. Good job there for Aidan Teague too. He cleared Joseph Marnie, Sam Carson, Ken Worcester as well during that exchange as well. So Joe doing a good job currently. Hayden Teague doing a good job. P12 as well. So
if we just get eyes on the monster, that dinosaur boys.
Bad time to put the camera on.
Hey, well, maybe. Okay, we'll see you, Taggles. We'll catch you.
But yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's hard to take your eyes off the fight, which is Pete Dawson.
It is
these
very
guys are going to be spent at the end of this one.
It is. But look, there is some mentions here. Obviously, the recovery Steve Cross on that car has been off track. It's tried to kill him a couple of times throughout the night, as has 10th position Isaac Ichikawa in the very hungry Lamborghini there.
Yeah, second faster that round than Ichikawa too, Austin. So he's making a second a lap on that car. We saw it at 4.5 seconds. It's down to 2.8 now. So he is incoming, and that will be for a top 10. And given the way his night went and opting for a set of tyres in that pit stop, the margin after that would be another 4.4 seconds up to Robbie Mitchell. So it'll be interesting to see how far he can go. I think he can get to the 10, but the clock might go against him at the back end.
It may do. Obviously, we've had battles between Joseph and Robbie Mitchell in the Porsches. These guys going head to head as well. Even Taggles in amongst that as well. Jay and Rodrigo. I think we might have called him a couple of weeks ago. He's doing an awesome job in the BMW, quicker than I remember.
Sorry,
but,
Costas Makalos.
Costas Makalos just sneaking
past
one of the back markers. Yep. But obviously Steve Crossland and Isaac Ichikawa in a little bit of recovery mode. As Taggles, how does he snack in between those two? I'd say Crossy's had another little mishap there. Sure, Crossy was behind Ichikawa there.
No, he has. Aidan Teague's made another spot there, mate.
So Taggles in the dinosaur Porsche there. Nice work. Nick Firth and Lyons went at it for a while. Nick Firth and Costas actually went at it for a while as well. Nick Firth has had a little bit of camera time tonight. Go, Firthy. Nice work. Gunther Rowe. The VE consumption on that car has really stolen a couple of positions away from him here tonight, J-Man, and this is what makes this series so good, isn't it? It can really mix stuff up, and on this particular track, round 3 here at Fuji, so that's what's happened there for Gunther Rowe. Was very strong last, I was going to say last week, but it was last round actually. Which I can't even remember what it was. I'm going to just bring it up here now. It's Bahrain. He did really well. We'll go back to that. But we got a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen. Did we mention that, J-Man? We got a lot going on. We've got Rainlight Racing LMU 2026 LMU series here. Sponsored by, obviously, MATCHFIT Entertainment and supported by SIMRACING, GAMAFLARE, a whole bunch of other people. But supercars, we've got iRacing supercars on a Tuesday night, we've got iRacing Porsche Cup cars on a Thursday night, and we've got ACC on a Thursday night. So get involved, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and keep up with everything that is MATCHFIT. J-Man, what are we going to keep up with now? I think Nathan Bewley's probably thinking, I wish I could keep up with Pete Dawson just a little bit more to get some overlap.
Yeah, and the interim too, I just gave you a bit of space there just to cover that off, but Hayden Tig, unfortunately, just dropping around about 5 positions there, 4 positions, sorry, back to P15.
It did look like he was struggling with that car, actually. Yep. So I think both him and Steve Crossland struggling with their rides at the moment. However...
Yeah, 54 and 17, so that is Pete Dawson and Nathan Bewley still absolutely going at it. This thing isn't going away anytime soon. There is only 9 minutes left in this race. Matty Clark's doing a great job of just maintaining that 8.5 to 9 second gap, and these boys, I reckon they're all maxed out at the moment anyway, Davo. So this is what they've got at the back end. Tyres will be well past their use by date. Obviously, a couple of guys probably monitoring energy, and I'm picking on Bewley. They're down 18%, 8.5 minutes to go. You tech heads that drive these things, the likes of Georgie Goddard and co, have they got enough left in the tank? Well,
no, I wouldn't want to be Pete right now either, George. I totally agree.
No.
Because Bewley has got the eyes on J-Man. The time is ticking. Look at the pressure. Through 100, down to the hairpin.
I mean, all Pete can do here, Davo, is just drive his absolute fastest laps now. Try and cover off the odd line, but maybe just try and drive his fastest laps at the same token, and just watch that energy burn down. 16% for Bewley. It's just dropped from 19 back to 18% there for Pete Dawson. So he's still got this benefit by he's burning up 2.7% versus Nathan Bewley's 3.1. How close are they going to go?
Don't get yourself short, George. The pressure gets to you, I know. But yeah, these guys on the top of their game, I totally agree. I'd be crumbling as well.
Yeah, Harry Lawrence, I reckon he's got something to say about that P5 late in the piece as he starts to close the margin down now on Costas Makrolos. Nathan Bewley's so big under brakes.
Yeah.
Pete Dawson has got that apex to turn 1 locked in all night.
And was unfazed by it. Literally saw the closing speeds. Didn't react to it. Didn't give him any space. Just goes, no, I got this. And I'm sure Nathan's got this as well. You know, like the trust in the other driver, J-Man. We talk about it a lot, don't we? It takes 2 to do this sort of stuff, especially at such close quarters, particularly under an overtaking situation. But even there, like we saw, PD not wavered by Bewley's so late braking there, and just knew he had it covered. trusted him. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, I reckon they're all safe on the energy too, just looking at that clock winding down. Just around 6 minutes. Obviously going to be quite tight for the likes of Bewley and Gunther Rowe, but they're going to get home, and I think Bewley knows it, and literally he's at that phase of the race now. He's looking for the pass.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
looking
no.
to try and make something here as he looks to get a good run off a turn 16.
Oh, and PD with a little bit of a slip. He looks, Bewley bumps him. Bump drafts him there, J-Man.
Yeah.
And look at that! Ladies and gentlemen.
He's pushing him. He is 100% pushing him.
That's NASCAR shit right there. Go.
Pulls out the draft. We know how good Pete Dawson is down to the apex, but Bewley's going to take that right away from him.
There you go. Can he stop the bloody thing? Oh, big snap from the Lexus.
There is the pass. Pete's going to argue about it, and we love that. I reckon
Pete's
there's
still
spots on this racetrack, strengths and weaknesses. So look at Pete. Lots of pressure, gives him a little touch as they come out of fours down a 6 there.
I can't watch. Oh, what a race. Here we are, 4.5 minutes left to go. Wow, J-Man.
Oh, a little bit of run wide there from Nathan Bewley, but it does a beautiful job to gather it up there. Was on the way out of 12, heading to 13.
Man, it does not get much better than that. Two class acts there.
Harry Lawrence now, Davo, right on the back of Costas Makrolos. Can he pressure him with only 4 minutes to go? So we know that'll only be a few laps left to run on this thing. And he's right on him. Lap 43 of a predicted 46.
George there, just hitting us up in the chat box again there, J-Man. I wonder what that last lap will look like for Bewley. Is he...
VE-wise, it was a very efficient lap. It was 2.7%, and he matched Pete Dawson on that one.
Yeah. So the bump from and the bump draft helped both of them potentially.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Who would have thunk that? PD. Nathan Bewley passed. Got it done and dusted. Lawrence.
All over the back of Costas now.
This is the fight. This is 5th and 6th, mind you. Oh,
Looks
Lawrence.
to the inside.
Oh.
And just takes away Costas' ability to get on the gas pedal early as he looked to cut back down.
You can see
Harry Lawrence put it in the middle of the corner on the way out. Just to the inside, covers early, knows how fast that Lamborghini is down the front straight.
And looking for the side draft as well. And Costas is going to hold him to the inside as long as he could. He gets back past J-Man.
Yeah, it's not done.
Two very smart operators, these guys. High racing IQs, and there's contact there. Little head flash of the headlights there from Lawrence. Just going, oi! What's going on?
And where is Matty Clark? Okay, so it is going to be this one and one
Another
more.
one, yeah. So Bewley comfortably in second as well. PD comfortably in third. Gunther Rowe as well in a bit of clean air at the moment.
Yeah, Gunther Rowe down to 4% energy though,
Are
and
you
still got a lap.
serious?
Still got a lap to run here. A lap and a
Oh
quarter.
no! So Costas.
As is Nathan Bewley. Nathan Bewley a little further up the road though.
I wondered this. I wondered, and this is what Georgia was saying before. And he goes, maybe that's why he bumped draft earlier, just to save that little bit of VE. That could have been a ploy here. Oh, look at Makalos and Lawrence again. Trading positions.
Yeah, well, Macrolos and Lawrence are sharing the same amount of energy. Just dropped down to 4% themselves. So they, I think, going to be fine as they roll out of turn
30 seconds to
16.
go. So where's Clarkey?
Yeah, Clarkey's into the last lap. He's fine. He's got the most energy out of all of these boys up the front. He's got 9%.
Okay,
3%
so this
for Nathan
is
Bewley starting the last lap.
This is the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. 3%. Is it enough, J-Man?
Well, he burnt up 2.7. That one, his 5-lap average is 2.9%, but so is PD's now. So both pushing hard.
Costas and Lawrence still trading paint out of one.
Yeah. 2% now for the likes of Bewley and Gunther Rowe. It's going to be tight. They're going to have fumes as they cross the line.
Oh, it does not get any better than this, viewers. These guys pushing it right to the end. And we say it all the time, there's a bit of airspace between these guys, but the race is actually on because of this fuel consumption. Look at that, Bewley run wide there, J-Man. That lost him some...
The gap closes.
That lost him a lot. What happened there?
No, it looks like Pete Dawson's through.
What happened there? That was a bit of a glitch in the matrix there.
Glitch in the matrix. So it has been resettled by way of maybe the internet gods saying, look, we want to give it to the Ferrari as we see Matty Clark come across the line for a massive victory here. Comes through last lap of 38.6. Impressive stuff, or 38.8, sorry. Pete Dawson's going to hold out Nathan Bewley. Not entirely sure. We'll get a bit of an inside.
Well, we're going to, because we're going to talk to him, aren't we, J-Man? Gunther Rowe, a solid 4th position. Nice work with Gunther, Harry Lawrence and Costas Makalos. Hard fought battle from both of those boys there. Nick Firth coming across the line for P7. Rodrigo in 8th in a stunning looking BMW. Excellent work. Robbie Mitchell 9th and 10th. Very close behind. Isaac, a recovering Isaac Ichikawa, Sam Carson coming through the final sector as we speak. J-Man, a lot of recovering drivers here. Ichikawa, maybe not so much Carso, and well, there's a few guys there. Steve Crossan and the line. Go Ken Worcester. Perfect looking Mustang, brother. J-Man, who we got first?
I'm going to get into it, mate. She's getting early over here.
It's getting early. It's like morning time.
It's getting early, so we'll grab Nathan Bewley, who has just had an amazing race. Nathan, you got us on comms, bud?
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Well, mate, we just got to witness a fantastic race, and you're a big part of it for a big portion of the time. I'm not sure whether to congratulate you or send commiserations, because was that a screen freeze or something at the back end?
Yeah, that was a screen freeze right in that last sector.
Oh, man, we saw it. We saw it.
Hey, and way to work the numbers too, and around the VE as well. We know that was going to be tight, but I think potentially still with a % or so to go across the line. But talk to us about that. Just obviously there's a lot to unpack out of that race, but that last piece there, pushing PD down the front straight before you made the pass, were you making a bit of margin? Because we saw your average go from 3.1 back to 2.7 back in the piece there. So does it make that much sitting in the toe?
I think it does a little bit, but I think if you really want to make as much really, you'd be like that, kind of bump draft them down the straight, and then just before you usually brake, you'd like let off yourself and then let them brake. But yeah, I was literally I wasn't even actually fighting Pete that much when I was bumping him. I was kind of just like, oh, just bump him, and then I thought, I have a good overlap on him, and it looked like I was maybe a little bit stronger into turn 1, the run to brake. So I was like, I'll try it, and then yeah, I got up on like past him, tried to do the up and under, and got on the curb and nearly spun it.
Yeah, we saw it, but look, he actually had to lift the throttle because the line that he came off, he just couldn't make the run work. And look, and you know, the rest was history around the back sector there, when unfortunately we just sort of saw a flicker, and then the positions had changed. But however, talk to us a little bit about that early phase of the race, Nathan, when yourself and your battling away, Gunther was ahead of you. You were obviously aware of the energy, and maybe you guys were going to overcut Gunther.
Yeah, I could see that both me and Pete had a little bit extra. It seemed like Pete was a lot better here. Like I was expecting maybe to be kind of where he was, but I felt like I struggled quite a lot with the setup here. I mean, yeah, there's a whole other thing about barely had any practice and all that with the disc braking and all that, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, and I was expecting to be like that. So, and I could see I was kind of having to push quite hard to keep up with Pete, but it looked like he could keep up quite easily with Gunther at that point. So I felt like if I could push hard enough and then latch onto Pete, then I could start saving a bit. And then I think that's where we kind of jumped Gunther. I know definitely I did, because I think I came out and be 2 seconds in front of him, and I was like, sweet, I've literally had to do nothing except fill it up 1 or 2% less, and I've gained a position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, without knowing, looking from up here, it looked at some portions of the race like yourself and Pete were almost working together, you know, like banking the laps. You guys were making great margin. Matty Clark was clearly off on another postcode here tonight with that early pace.
For sure.
But it looked like you and PD were really working together there. You know, there was some close quarter stuff, but not really any rubbing or upsetting each other's race lines. So look, to me, it looked like Pete had confidence to turn in when he wanted to and take his line, and you were sort of following in suit. And I'm not sure whether at that point, whether you were maxed out or whether you were just happy to be there and buy some time in the pit lane. So that's what it looked like from up here, but fantastic racing and another well-earned podium, Nathan.
Thanks, boys. Yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy, even like right at the end there when we pit and I was still behind Pete. I was still happy, just even if I just finished like here, you know, third. I was quite happy with that. I mean, I was super tight on the track cuts. I mean, I think I was like 1 cut away, like 12 laps into the race, so it wasn't going very good.
Right,
That's
right.
kind of fun.
And what turn were the majority of those coming from, Nathan?
A bit of everywhere. Like I said,
Okay.
didn't do a lot of practice because yeah, obviously the disc broken, and then yeah, the car just felt very on edge. Like sometimes you'd turn it in, the rear would slide, and then other times you'd turn it in, it wouldn't do anything. So it was a little bit uneasy on like what the car was actually going to do when you turn it in.
Yeah. Well, mate, another fantastic performance. We do appreciate the time you guys take out to come and have a chat with us. Before we let you go, do you have any sponsors or anyone you'd like to thank that helps you along your journeys along the way there, Nathan?
I could thank heaps of people, you know, my friends with it, but I'll give a big shout out because it's actually his birthday today. My dad. Happy birthday,
there you go,
Dad. There you go. That podium's for you. It couldn't be the win, but it's all right.
Oh, that's awesome, mate.
That's
well,
excellent.
Happy birthday, Mr. Bewley, and yeah, awesome stuff, Nathan. Congratulations, mate, on another fantastic result.
Thank you, boys. Yeah, I'll look forward to watching the stream back because you guys do awesome job and all that, you know. And like I always say, when I'm in my own little race, I don't get to see everybody else, like the whole picture that makes the whole race. So we're great. Yeah, it's awesome to watch it back.
Awesome, mate. Well done.
Good on you, Nathan.
So that is Nathan Bewley
Wow.
from P3.
And
Dawson.
And to you, Dad. Well done.
Yeah, and to Nathan's dad on the birthday. What a great result. But
Good kid.
the other guy, Pete Dawson, mate, fantastic. Starting with the performance and practice, Pete. Obviously, you got your comms on with us at the moment, mate.
Yeah, I can hear you there.
Yeah, fantastic performance. We saw you deep into the 36s. Obviously, quality didn't quite go your way there, Pete. I saw you struggling with a little bit of traffic and just a bit of track position. Put it in, I think, P8, but the rest was history, mate. What a fantastic battle and a great execution of use of the virtual energy. Probably one of the best out there as far as fuel and energy burn was a catalyst to your success tonight, as well as the pace, Pete.
Yeah, I'm just pretty well just drive around like Mr. Magoo, and seemed to be all right. I think old Bewley had a bit of few technical troubles with the internet, and so a couple of times he jumped behind me, so I he really deserves second, I think.
Yeah, look, hey, look, pace-wise though, Pete, you know, like it was all there and it was fantastic to watch, you know, like yourself and Bewley. I said to Nathan just before, it almost looked at times like you guys were working together, obviously making time on Gunther Row, you know, that was a critical part of the race, that whole opening sort of 50 minutes there where you're really just going at it, but you were making good numbers on what was always going to be an overcut situation and less time in the pit lane. And obviously you guys are pretty aware of what's going on there with the competitors around you. So we just heard from Nathan saying that, yeah, he was aware of what that looked like, was happy to sit behind you. But Davo picked up a couple of times tonight, Pete, where, you know, you looked unfazed at the turn and like turn one when guys are putting pressure on you. Under brakes down there, you're probably one of the best at making the apex there tonight. Incredible turn in there, and then obviously holding your line. So you obviously felt confident with Nathan behind you?
Yeah, he's a really good racer, and yeah, I don't think he touched me once. You know, he probably should have pushed me out of the way, but
I reckon there was a bit of touching down the front straight with one to go, mate. I think we
There was
saw
a bit
it.
of bump
So
draft there.
it was good. It was good touching though.
We love it.
Yeah.
yeah, I was a bit slow to catch on. He should have. I guess we should have worked together a little bit more to try and get a bit further forward.
So were you actively? You were still racing it like through that first 50 odd minutes, at like halfway mark? You were still generally racing him, weren't working together at all? You think? Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not that clever. I'm just flat out. It's, just all the time.
Very cool. Very cool.
Hey, yeah, good call. Look, the viewers are really aware of what's happening as well, especially the likes of George Goddard. He called it. He called it pretty early. He said, you know, imagine if Pete could get 2 more laps than Gunther Row. You know, we probably already knew at that point that maybe one lap extra on the overcut situation was going to do the job, but you went that extra one, which I think that was critical in buying you that little bit more, because there was about 1.5% difference between yourself and Bewley, and I think it just bought you that position. Obviously he ran incredibly deep down to turn one, just really trying to grab that track position when you came out, but mate, just those tiny little things that, you know, build up what is, you know, like kind of like a mini enduro really. You know, there's a lot going on for you boys, and I thought you played it incredibly well tonight, Pete. You know, you showed the pace early, you backed it up in the race, had to make some positions and finished strongly. You know, like I said, I didn't know whether to congratulate Nathan or send commiserations based on the internet spikes, but mate, you got to take those ones when they present themselves, Pete. You did a fantastic job of that tonight. Yeah,
thanks guys. I've got your badge on the back of the car now, so maybe that was all the difference.
Oh, we noticed. We noticed.
It negates the commentator's curse when you do that, Pete. You know, like if you're rocking
immune.
the MATCHFIT
You're
logo,
immune to it.
You're sorted, mate. But hey, before we let you go, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to tonight, sponsors or family, or anyone that supports you along the way, Pete?
Oh yeah, well, my daughter in yellow often watches the race, and yeah, just really appreciate her and the support.
Awesome. No, that's awesome. You know, it's often the ones closest to us, mate, that support us the most. So well done. That is Pete's daughter supporting him, and fantastic result tonight too, Pete. So well done, mate. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Talk again soon.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
There you go. That is Pete Dawson from Pete too. But this guy, I don't think there was any question. He was out like a bat out of hell off the gate tonight. Put it on pole position. Never looked back. Matty Clark, you got us on comms?
I do indeed, fellas. Hello.
Of course he does.
Mate, I reckon Sue was standing ovation for that one. She was pumped. It was a fantastic performance. Unbeknown to you, there was a hell of a battle going on behind you, but mate, where did all that pace come from? That was seriously fast.
I don't know what it is. I just connect with Fuji on a spiritual level. It was the same back in season 9 as well. Not in the Mercedes, because I just refuse to acknowledge that car exists and that season happened. But yeah, I just seem to have really, really strong pace here. Like whether it's in rain light races or online races.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like 100R specifically, I I find time there that no one else is.
Yeah.
And turn 1 is a big one as well. I've noticed.
We noticed as well.
Yeah, we did
Right.
notice. So we talked about 100R early in the piece. Actually, I think we may have even been off cams, Matt, about, you know, the way that guys attack that corner. It's almost like a double apex. They do call it 2 turns, 4 and 5 through 100R, and just the ability for you to come in and then lift off the throttle, let the car rotate, and then pick up that throttle maybe a little bit earlier than the other guys. There's a lot of cadence throttle work going on by a lot of the drivers, just trying to settle the car through there. We did see a couple of guys lift off, oversteer, and stage left exit there.
Yep. It's a killer if you do that. You can't really let off once you're back on the throttle.
Yeah. So, but you had it all sorted out, and look, I think the only time that I ever saw anything on the Delta go negative was it was out to 14 seconds, and then we saw it spike back to 10. I'm not sure if there was a moment there or.
Probably a lack of concentration. Because earlier in the race, once Harry got into second, I noticed he was saving VE over me, but also almost matching my pace. So I realized I needed to kind of turn it up, and because I'd been driving it like I'd say 95%, especially through like the kink of 10, I think it is, to be just get the laps down. But once Harry got into second, and I noticed that wasn't working because he was sitting at like 8.5, but he was saving a lot more fuel, I started pushing again. But after his spin, I think my concentration faded a bit because I was back to a situation where I could back off the throttle a bit and still be gaining time. And yeah, coming into the last corner, I just went deep, and then in trying to rejoin, almost spun the car.
Okay, yeah. So it's clearly not what Bill on the Hill says. You're not a weeb. That's good. Good to know that we actually got we got the facts there. So
I didn't stop to just stare at Fuji, you know.
Yeah. So hey, look, another fantastic result though, and look, on a night that was, you're so at home at Fuji. You've called it, and on reflection of this, thinking back, we have seen you dominate there before, but look, it's a track that throws up a lot of challenges in the final sector, and I was watching the laps, and mate, you were just banking them off. I was a little concerned early, Matt, with the energy burn, and then I thought, based on the numbers at the time, I probably was looking, it was about 6 seconds the margin, and then I thought, look, if you pulled it out somewhere around 10, you'd probably be safe to negate the overcut system that can often happen. We saw that with Bewley and Pete Dawson over Gunther Road.
That's the thing.
I was definitely thinking about that because I had I was content to just try to win on pure pace. I'm terrible at playing the fuel game, so the moment I'd already noticed it was like a 4 to 5% deficit, I'd kind of just committed to, look, I'm just going to drive as fast as I can to the end. But thankfully had the accident, it kind of stopped mattering a little bit.
Yeah, look, hey, we've seen you before in those situations, and I sometimes I think it's down to the interaction with the Twitch feed. Sometimes upsets the pit stop rhythm.
What do you mean? I've never made a pit stop mistake, J-Man.
Wash your mouth out, J-Man.
I'm not sure. There's been times that I've called and passed where, no, Matt, you were supposed to go the lap before. Now you're in the shit. But look, there was nothing of the sort tonight. Now, fantastic result. We're going to hand you it over. Is there any sponsors, family, or friends that you want to give a shout out, mate? Because you really earned
first
that one
win of the
tonight.
season. I probably should shout my mum out. She probably does deserve it. I can't lie.
Well, mate, she's been on there supporting you, so yeah, 100%. Well done, Matty Clark,
awesome
mate.
stuff.
No, I appreciate it, boys.
More of that. Fantastic drive tonight. Look, you actually will get to see something different should you choose to go watch the broadcast back, because there was a lot of battling going on up.
I saw a lot of close times. I've been looking forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, fantastic night of racing, and like I said, mate, well done. Congratulations. Great drive.
Appreciate it.
No worries. That is Matty Clark there, coming from P1 in the Fuji race, round 3 here in the 2026 LMU series. Davo, what a fantastic night of racing.
Amazing, J-Man. As always, the boys here at Rainlight are putting on a show in the LMU series. Look, and we're 3 rounds in. Jeez, they got a lot to sort of live up to after that one. I tell you, what a finish. Awesome stuff. But we're
I'm exhausted from watching.
Oh, I am. You and me both. You and me both. Good stuff. And look, the boys always are so good for jumping in here in the comps box and giving us some, like good, solid information in our post-race interviews. So awesome stuff. And thank you to all the boys. J-Man, we do need to wrap it up though. It is getting late. I'm surprised you are still awake. Thanks everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, round 3 at Fuji here for Rainlight Racing's 2026 LMU series. Thank you everyone for joining in. I'm Davo, J-Man out. See you all next week.